Prices are shifting, buyers are struggling, and the economy, well, let's just say it's not looking too great. And household debt right now is at an all time high. Inventory is increasing, mortgage applications are down, and housing is still unaffordable for most buyers. So, what does that mean for you as a home seller? Well, if you don't approach this the right way, you could easily end up sitting on the market longer than you want, and you're going to have to start cutting your price. And you'll probably be dealing with buyers who can't even get financing right now. And today, I'm going to break down exactly what is happening in 2025's market and what you need to do to sell your home for the best price possible. So let's dive into that right now. Now, this housing market we're currently in is obviously changing fast. I mean, every day is a new surprise. So let's start with the overall big picture. And the market is shifting. It's not that red hot seller's market that we saw in 2021 and 2022. And here's a few reasons why. Again, the household debt, it's at an all-time high. You have people out there that have maxed out credit cards. Car loans are insane. And student loans are back in full force. And buyers are just stretched too thin right now. And on top of that, the mortgage applications are down. And that means fewer people are even trying to buy homes right now. And home prices are still very unaffordable, mainly for those first-time home buyers. And interest rates right now, let's face it, they haven't helped. And a lot of people just simply cannot afford to jump into home ownership right now. And on top of it all, the rental market is cooling, and you have investors who aren't snatching up these properties like before because the rents, they're not climbing as fast. That means fewer cash buyers looking for deals. So if you're selling in 2025, you really need to be realistic because the buyers, they're more cautious, and the days of getting those 10 plus offers the first week are absolutely gone. One of the biggest challenges for sellers in 2025 is there's more competition. And I always tell my sellers, if you're the only show in town, that's great. You want to be the only home on the market. But right now, housing inventory is rising. And that means buyers, they have so many options. And if you're selling, you're no longer that only show in town or the only house in the area. And what is causing this? All the sellers who waited are finally listing those homes. And a lot of people who held off during the high interest rates are now ready to make a move. And those investors, they're offloading properties as well. With the rents stabilizing and the property taxes rising, some investors are just cashing out. Now, foreclosures, they're creeping up a bit. I think in the last few months, I've noticed it around here in the Denver area where the list has gone from a half a page to now it's creeping up to 3 pages of people that are in default. And with the higher debt levels and all that job uncertainty, some homeowners are struggling to keep up. And those that have just purchased a home in the last few years at the high point of the market, and now they have a life-changing event and so forth, they're the ones that are really in trouble right now because they just don't have the margins to sell their home to be able to pay off all the mortgage and the fees that they paid to get that house in the first place. So how, as a home seller, do you stand out? Well, I'm going to stress to you right now, and you're all going to hate to hear it, but you have to price it right from the start. Some of you might just think that's pretty obvious, but a lot of people overprice their homes to begin with, thinking that it's the market of old. And overpricing right now is really going to kill your chances in the market that we're in. You need to make sure your home is in move-in ready condition, as buyers now are very picky and they don't want these big repair projects, and they're not just jumping on any house that they have the chance to get anymore. And another thing you're going to have to do is market that home aggressively. You can't just list it and just hope for the best. You need to get an agent that will work for that sale, because it's not as easy as just sticking a sign in the yard anymore. And buyers, they're not just looking at your home or any home right now. They're also looking at the big picture, like the entire economy. And it's really making people very nervous right now. Because here's what they're seeing. You're seeing retail stores that are closing left and right. This signals a slowdown in consumer spending. But one thing that people aren't really noticing or talking about either right now is the commercial real estate market. Yes, these big companies are defaulting on office buildings. Banks aren't renewing these notes on a lot of these commercial deals, and commercial deals are on shorter term loans. They usually have balloon payments due 3, 5, 7, 10 years. And right now, the banks, if they do refi, they're at a much higher rate, but a lot of banks are pushing back on those commercial deals, which could spill over into the broader markets and affect everything as a whole. Now, let's look at my idol, Warren Buffett, since I'm originally from Nebraska. And I'm sure you've all heard he's just stockpiling cash. And when Warren stockpiles cash, usually him being one of the smartest investors in the world, he's holding off because he's ready to make some big moves when all those opportunities arise. Another thing, bond yields are rising. And when bond yields rise, mortgage rates tend to follow, as mortgage rates are really tied to that 10-year treasury yield. And here's the big one. The consumer confidence is dropping daily. People aren't as eager to make those big purchases. And when the buyers lack confidence, they either wait or they're just going to shoot lowball offers to all you sellers out there. So just be prepared for this. Now, one of the biggest problems sellers are facing is that the number of first-time home buyers is shrinking. And why does this matter? Well, those first-time home buyers, they actually fuel the housing market. They buy all those entry-level homes that allow those sellers to move up and so on. And without those first-time home buyers, the entire housing market usually just slows down. And if they can't afford to buy those homes, then those people that are preparing to move up, they can't sell. And it just causes a chain reaction all through the markets. And many of those younger buyers are priced out or they're just stuck renting. They're dealing with student loans, high rent, and the fact they have job insecurity right now. For sellers, this means that now there's fewer buyers out there overall. So you're really going to have to appeal to those that are still in the game, meaning those higher income professionals, investors, or downsizers who have that equity to purchase your property. So with all this in mind, how do you actually get top dollar for your home in 2025? Well, again, here's the game plan that I constantly stress to people. You have to price your home correctly. Overpricing your home will leave it sitting out there while other competitors are trying to sell. And you need to look at what's actually selling, not just those listed prices. And in fact, anymore, you want to just look at what is sold in your area in the last 30, maybe 60 days tops. But make sure that you are looking at those actual sales, as listing prices. They don't really mean anything until that deal closes. And another thing that'll tell you if you're priced too high is if you're not getting showings in the first few weeks. And again, that's what's going on with some people right now that I'm dealing with that had contacted me. They aren't getting any showings at all, and they were priced way too high. And I know it hurts to hear that because we all think our home is our castle and it's always worth way more than anybody else's, but you just have to listen to the market. Right now, you'll probably have to take your lumps. I hate to say it. I know a lot of you are freaking out about that, but price it to sell. So you're not sitting there weeks down the road and losing more potential money on that sale. Now, another thing you can do to help make your home stand out, staging homes, they actually do sell faster. And also make sure your home is clean and decluttered. And I'll put a link down below, as I've done a video about how to declutter your home to get it ready for the market. And also doing small updates like lighting, make sure there's no burnout light bulbs, get some fresh paint on the walls, get some nice flooring if your carpet is in bad condition, and also maybe a little landscaping. That all will go a long way with the potential buyers. But just don't give your buyers or potential buyers an excuse to hesitate, and always fix obvious issues before listing. Don't do what a lot of people want to do and give credits for things. If you know something isn't right, get it done up front because right now more than ever, that will make a big difference on how fast you sell your property. Also, you're going to have to be ready to negotiate. I mean, buyers really do right now have the leverage. So expect some back and forth. You'll probably have to pay some closing costs and some rate buy downs because that can help get deals done. And don't ignore those cash offers. They'll probably be a little lower, but they do close fast. Also, your agent, whoever you hire, needs to market smarter, not harder, but just get high quality photos. Make sure they do this and also do a quick video tour and that they're posting your home out there on all the social media channels because that right now is where people are also finding those homes out there. And if your agent isn't using any of these strategies, you may want to find a better one then because right now, let's face it, you have to be ahead of the game right now, and you don't have any time to sit and wait. So if you're looking to sell your home in 2025, it isn't impossible, but it's definitely different from the crazy market we had a few years ago. And again, the buyers, they're more cautious. That inventory is rising. Yes, the economy is shaky, but if you understand the market and you make the right moves, you can still sell your home at a great price. And the key, you have to be realistic, you have to be flexible, and also work with a real estate agent who actually knows what they're doing. And if you need a contact out in your area, reach out to me. My contact's down below. I can set you up with somebody who knows how to navigate this market. And hopefully you found this video helpful. And if so, please share it with somebody else. And also, stay tuned for this video that's coming up next, and we'll see you next time.